chat.
Good day to you all. Steve Wyss here, joined by Ashley Waite. We are now at the crunch stage of the World Cup. The group stages are done, but there's no rest, is there, Ashley? We are straight into the round of 16 immediately. I was hoping for a day off here so I could just kind of assess everything and look at the prices and do more research. But yeah, here we go with the last 16 going into it. It's been a difficult group stage at times, hasn't it? Ups and downs. What's your overall feelings about the World Cup at this point in time? We'll have a look at the outright market as well before we finish the show today. But you're feeling good? You're feeling bad? It's not an easy tournament, is it?
No, it's not. Yeah, no, I'm feeling a lot better, than I was. Had a decent day. Well, actually, I had a really good day today. So, yeah, some weird results, but it's been like that for everybody. I'm I'm excited, for some teams, seeing it like Japan, South Korea, going through. I'm very curious about some matchups now. I'm glad that Morocco went through. I think there's going to be a ton of value on them moving forward. Already going to take them to score at -108, and I'm just hoping that the public slams Spain left and right. And I like Morocco at the +1. But I'm going to wait because I think that a lot of the people that just hear the big names of Spain, right? These people just want to throw money around. I'm hoping that line gets hammered and we can snag Morocco at a +1.25 or, even a +1.5 maybe. So, yeah, been interesting. That's for sure.
It certainly has been interesting. And you're right about Morocco. I love them in that match. I think we'll be, is that 2 days' time, 3 days' time? Today on this show, we're only going to be talking about the matches on Saturday, which is Netherlands, USA, and Argentina against Australia. And I'll bring the outright market up as well at the end of the show for some thoughts there. We're going to start by talking about the Argentina-Australia game because this is the only match that we've got bets in. We've got several picks in this particular affair. And then after that, we'll talk about the US. But Argentina-Australia, then, Ashley. Yes, we've got four picks between us in this particular match. Where shall we start then? I'll start with you, and I'll start with this sort of same game parlay you've got from Bovada for 1 unit.
Yeah, so I had narrowed it down to 2. There's a couple of specials that I like in this match, but this is the one that I've landed on. I feel that, like it's a little bit safer of the route. Argentina can typically be counted on for corners. I think they're going to come in here and play on the front foot. I don't think that they will underestimate this Australia team. I don't think they'll underestimate anyone, when it was a scary route for them to get here, right, with the Saudi taking them out. And I think that shook their confidence there. But they've turned it around. So I'm kind of expecting and hoping to see the Argentina that we were kind of counting on seeing from the very beginning. So this is at plus money, surprisingly, which makes me love it even more because you guys know how I love my value. But this is just takes Australia out of the equation altogether. This is Argentina team total over 1.5 and over 5.5 corners in the match at +110. I believe on Bovada, the way that it's written out is Argentina to score 2+ goals and have at least, 6+ corners. Same thing. Yeah, I think that Argentina play wide open. I think they don't take anything for granted here with the scare that they had in the group stages. And, I think they score at least twice. I was looking for a way to find value with their team total and just wanted to take Australia out of it altogether because they've been sneaky at scoring pretty quickly. I think if Australia score, they score in the first half. But yeah, I think Argentina scored twice, and the amount of corners and the way that they attack, I would be very surprised if the corners don't hit. So I love this at plus money.
I hope Argentina get 20+ corners here because I need some corners for my outright tournament selection. Actually, I'm in massive trouble with the corners. It doesn't help when matches like Spain, Japan only have 2 corners in them, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
But I think I'm only at 440 for the tour. I need an average of like 11 or 12 corners a game now to hit my tournament. I think it's done. I'll be honest, I think I've called it wrong. There's just been too many teams in the lower ranked regions who are far more advanced in their inside styles than even I expected. So it was a bad call for me with the corners, but hopefully I'm praying for miracles. I'm praying for some big matches for corners. Australia are not going to get many corners here. They might not even get one. But yeah, that's your first pick. I like it. And it kind of goes a little bit with me, certainly with the minus 1.75 handicap. We both need Argentina to score at least twice here. And I think they'll get the 2 goals. Minus 194 is not the correct price there. I need to edit that.
No, I was just looking at that thinking, yeah, that's way off.
It's minus 104. It's minus 104. That would be a bit of a strange price, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think
this man's gone nuts that high of a handicap at that price.
I think there's night and day between the two teams. Now that Argentina are motoring again, the confidence is up, their tails are up. And Australia, well done to them for getting to this stage. But I think the teams in their group played into their hands. Like Denmark were pathetic in that group. Tunisia gave it everything, but we know they lack goals. And all those teams did, they just put deep, high balls into the box. And the big centre-back for Australia, Harry Suter, who's taller than the Empire State Building, just keeps heading it all away. Now, Argentina are not going to do that, are they? They're just going to play technical on the floor, and they're going to play to their strengths. Let's not forget that when Australia played a good, genuinely good side in France, they got beat 4-1. And I'm expecting something similar here. Australia have given it absolutely everything here. And I do wonder what's in their tank. They could do with playing a few more days later than this, I believe. So minus 1.75 handicap. I don't like taking big handicaps, as you know, Ashley. It's not often you'll see me take many big ones, but here it just stood out to me. I think they win to 0. I think it's comfortable. And at very worst, I think 2-0. And if the Aussies prove me wrong here, then fair play to them. But I don't see them getting on the score sheet. So that's my pick. We've both got an anytime scorer for the game as well. You're going with a bigger price. Me half a unit here on Julian Alvarez. And I must stipulate this is lineup dependent. So make sure this is voided if he doesn't start.
Exactly. So my reasoning with this is I actually unfortunately got greedy in their last match because I love this kid. Plays wide open. He's also really good in the assist market. So if you want to take him to score or assist, I think that's a really good look too. But this is kind of a situational aspect. Lautaro Martinez, who I had to score over 2.5, pre-World Cup, and he just with his offsides issues, and he gets goals called back. I believe that Alvarez here has overtaken him. I would be surprised if he doesn't start ahead of Martinez. So in their last match, I took Alvarez to come on and score, but I doubled him up with someone else, and I was too greedy. But yeah, I think this kid is fantastic. He's fantastic at creating. I look at them to be on the front foot, and if people want to double team Messi or whatever and leave this kid open, I'm fine with that. I think it's a great price. And like you said, lineup dependent, though. I don't know if they're going to try, to get a little bit scared and go into their shell and put out, their typical lineup and have Martinez up in the front three. But I would be surprised with as well as Alvarez came on and played. And, they gave him a shot, see what he could do with all of Lautaro Martinez's mistakes. So if this kid starts, I think this is a fantastic bet.
I'd just like to say welcome to the stream, Felix Gomez Sr., Pedro Pimentel, and Righty as well. Thanks for joining and thanks for commenting. Al, you know what? I'm exactly in the same boat as you here, Ashley. I took Lautaro Martinez Golden Boot. And I'll be honest, on my spreadsheet, I've already written it off as a loser. It's just not going to be his tournament, is it? I'm actually on him each way, but I don't see how he's scoring even a goal at this point in time. Even his big chances he's not taking. When he actually scores a legitimate goal, it's ruled out for VAR. It's just not his tournament, is it? So I agree with you. I think Alvarez is probably ahead of him in the pecking order right now. And it's a good price anytime. I'm going to give you an incredibly boring and incredibly unoriginal pick. Messi to score any time at minus 105 for one unit. I almost apologize for this. It's such an obvious play, but I thought he was going to be an even shorter price. To be honest, he's on every set piece. I know he missed a penalty in the last game. It's hard to imagine them, but if they win well, he's surely going to be one of the scorers on for Argentina, and you're going to get 90 minutes out of him as well. Unlike some of these other players who, the strikers seem to be rotated around, the wingers are rotated, but Messi's kind of your one constant on the field. In fact, the only time he'll come off if they're like 3 or 4-0 up, and by then he's probably scored. So I'm not going to waste any more time here mentioning this. You could also take Messi for man of the match, actually, at a very similar price. I'd imagine that's nailed on, unless Australia do something, because the public are just going to vote for Messi, aren't they? So, 4 selections for us in this Argentina game. Hopefully they do the job. Hopefully Australia do absolutely nothing.
I don't see that being a boring pick at all. I mean, anytime you get Messi close to evens anyway, especially, when he's playing for his national team, then I think it kind of helps too, with the fact that he did miss that penalty in the last one. Cost me more than I would, like to say, with a big plus 1,300 also. So yeah, I think he kind of wants to redeem himself. So I think maybe that helps your cause with him missing that penalty, trying to make up for that. And if people are pretty confident that Argentina wins and Messi scores, then a lot of times what I do is I throw Messi to score anytime and Argentina on the money line in theirs to get more value.
Yeah, if he was like minus 150 to score any time, I'm not going to take him here. Simple as that. But the price was quite good. I'm going to be the exact same tomorrow. Another boring pick. It'll be Mbappe to score. He's currently at plus money to score at least once against Poland, which I think is a stupid price.
Yeah, you got to hit that. Right.
Yeah, so it's just like sometimes you got to go with the obvious play, haven't you? So yeah, that's Argentina, Australia. That's the later game, actually. The first game is Netherlands against the USA. It's a tricky fixture, this one, actually.
Yeah.
And we don't actually have any official pick from either of us for the game. We can talk about our leans and how we think the match is going to go. I'll start us off. I don't want to keep putting you in the under pressure all the time first up, but I mean,
you initially, don't put me under pressure. I go first, second. It doesn't matter. This is all I do. It's sad, really. All day, every day. I dream about it, even when I'm sleeping. So I'm always good to go.
Well, I'll start off by saying initially my feeling was nice draw for the Netherlands. I think they would have too much. Then the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, have I underestimated this USA team throughout this whole tournament? I've been quite down on them, but they've performed quite well. They've had some interesting tactical game plans. And, we've got to mention this flu virus that's been going around the Netherlands camp. Supposedly half the squad's been ill. Quite what we make of that, I don't know. Will it affect them? They're definitely on the rise here. You can get plus money on the Netherlands to win inside 90 minutes. My gut feeling now is the values with the US, but I'm not sure. I think of all the games in this last 16, perhaps apart from Portugal, Switzerland, maybe it's the hardest one to call. So, I mean, how do you see it going now?
Well, I put a 2-unit play in on this at a double a few days ago, which I think I sent you as soon as I played it, and I was in love with it. And now this flu outbreak has me panicking. So my 2-unit play was France money line and Netherlands draw no bet at a ridiculously fantastic price. So I haven't lost total trust in it. The US have definitely played, much better than I thought they would. Now, there is a gulf in class, no matter who agrees with that or not, in this Netherlands side. So, I still think that the worst the Netherlands do is draw here, but it is making me a little bit more nervous. I don't know which players have the flu. I don't know if it's a Memphis Depay, Cody Gakpo. I'm hoping not to see strikers up front that are, like coming off the bench. But yeah, I mean, just with that being the question mark, I'm trying to find ways to take, Netherlands at a draw double chance. But I don't know. I still think Netherlands scored here, and we really didn't give any picks. Like, we were talking about this one before we went live, so I'm just having a brainstorm as the show is going. I think the Netherlands score. on the US. Now, of course, we're not laying a minus 360, but what I'm going to try to do is find like a really tasty piece to put that with. Maybe Netherlands to score and put that in with, Argentina's team total, or Messi to score or assist, something like that. I'm still gonna try to find value, or I may just let my 2 unit play ride and just hope that this flu does not do me in, because I don't bet 2 unit plays often. So yeah, this one has me a little bit nervous now with this news coming out.
Right, he says I've tipped the USA corners here. Seems a perfect tactical matchup for them. Interesting one with the Dutch fullbacks playing high. I quite like the under here, Ashley, but I'm not going to tip an under on this show. No way. My under 2.25. The USA, whenever they play a big team like this, they just seem to go in their shell, sit deep, just like the England match. I think they're going to approach it just like the England game. I guess the difference is maybe that the Dutch might just be a bit more aggressive than England were. So we'll have to wait and see. I think you could do worse than taking the under. USA are nearly plus 200 to qualify, which it's probably value really when you think about it. But I've not got the balls to back them, because going into the tournament, I just said I don't really think this side is at the level it needs to be right now. I didn't think they'd get out of the group. I think they're going to be a better team in 4 years' time. And, fundamentally, they've kind of proven me wrong. But let's wait and see how this match goes. I think it's one of those days that if the USA bring their best performance out, they're not without a chance. But will that happen? So for me, it's just a no-bet situation beforehand.
Yeah, I'm somewhat. So I was looking at Netherlands draw double chance and under 3.5, but that's just way too expensive. So yeah, I'm gonna pull up a price here on Netherlands draw double chance and under 2.5, which is risky. But I'm with you here. I kind of like the under. So if I have Hannah trying to get me, so minus 110. Yeah, I will. I'll give that a shot. Now I'll just do it half a unit, but I'm gonna take Netherlands. Draw double chance and under 2.5 goals.
Is that going to be an official show pick for you? Yeah.
Yeah, but only half a unit. Now, if you can find, I know it's a little bit tougher on some books. If you can find Netherlands draw double chance and under 3 goals, now 3.5 is going to be too expensive, but the under 3, which leaves the push option on the table, then I really like that, because I think US might play well, but I don't think they're going to beat the Netherlands outright.
Yeah, it's a tough game. Righty says that both teams are capable of producing stinkers, and they are. So it's one of those where, yeah, there you go. Netherlands draw double chance. That's 90-minute play, not over 120. And then that's at minus 110 for 0.5 units. Always, by the way, for those who are kind of new to football or soccer betting, now that matches are going to go extra time, if you've got a goal scorer, if you've got goals bets, match bets, that's only going to apply in 90 minutes. Extra time will not be part of your bet. So don't think that you back Messi anytime it goes to extra time and he scores, you won't win. So you've got to know the intricacies of soccer betting for that sort of thing. So a tough game though. Fundamentally, I think the advice from this show, Netherlands USA, don't go in too hard on it, because it's just tricky.
Yeah, and you very rarely see me very rarely see me go with anything with an under 2.5. But when it goes to these knockout rounds, I can't remember the exact percentage, but I want to say it's something about like something close to 38% drop off in goals. So these knockout stages tend to lead to the under, which is one reason that makes me not 38%. That's pretty statistically significant. So half a unit, nothing crazy. If you can get the combination with the under 3, definitely take that one. But let's just hope that it's kind of a cagey affair, and the Netherlands just simply avoid losing.
Yeah, I said we'll have a quick look at the outright prices now for the World Cup. Now we're down to the last 16 teams. Brazil are as short as plus 200 in some places. Meanwhile, you can back Poland as big as plus is that 30,000 there? Basically, Australia the same price. So at this point in time, I mean, you've got to look at the draw. And for me, there's a soft section of the draw, and it's the half of the draw that England and France are in. And if you were to say who's the value pick now, you probably are. I would say you probably are looking at France and England, because they're set to potentially meet in the quarterfinals. I think whoever wins that tie, and I would definitely lean towards France, probably has a great chance of making the final. But
Yeah.
I mean, we're on Argentina outright. I didn't like it after the Saudi Arabia loss. Now I'm suddenly really liking them again, because they've got a nice draw here. They play the winner of the Netherlands and the US, which, again, that's quite favourable. The Brazil team doesn't strike that much fear into me for the price they are, especially if Neymar's not fully fit. So I don't know if you've got any thoughts on. I mean, are you still quite happy with Argentina?
I am, yeah. Like I said, it was a bullshit loss to Saudi Arabia. Anyway, having that goal disallowed that should not have been. I'll just keep kicking that dead horse. If they're up 2-0, I think they run away with that match, and it's not even one that we're still talking about. So yeah, I think that they've gotten their swagger back, and yeah, I think they've gotten their confidence back. So I'm feeling a lot better in that plus 900 that I snagged pretty early as an outright. There was something else I was going to say about this. Oh, so with the Netherlands too. Now, so it kind of maybe brings the draw into the picture, but you guys know I don't play draws, right? Because it has to be such a specific result. But sometime now we can start looking at matches going to penalty shootouts, right? And going to 30 minutes of extra time. So I would say if you're one who is kind of liking the draw and you really can't pick a side, a way to find value is to take it to say, all right, if I think it's a draw, then it comes down to a penalty shootout. So you can take both of them, US to win on penalties at plus 900, and you can take Netherlands to win on penalties at plus 900. And in either one of those, if it makes it to penalties, you're gonna make a good profit.
Somewhere, I don't know exactly where this. You can probably still be able to bet on the number of matches that go to a penalty shootout in this tournament. I think the line is mostly 2.5 matches, and I think that'll go over. I think there'll be at least 3 matches that do go to penalties. I think because there's not many goals in this tournament. There's been a lot of 0-0s, lower scoring games. I think we could be getting 6, even 7 games go to extra time, right? And quite a lot of those will go to penalties. So it's just about picking them out. I think it's more relevant from the quarterfinals onwards. There's a few more mismatches in this last 16, but there will be, there'll be a match where a heavy favourite in this last 16 gets taken to penalties. We don't know who, and we hope that we're not betting on that favourite in that particular match. Yep. But there will be someone that just gets shocked and gets taken to penalties. Hannah says she's going to play the first half draw in the US match plus 105. Why not? Because so many games are drawing at halftime, aren't they? So you might as well go. You could even look at 0-0 at halftime. But I just want to say one thing on the outright before we go. I think if you're looking for a really big price in the softer section of the draw, as I'm calling it, I think Morocco at 125 to 1 and possibly Switzerland at 80 to 1. You could do worse. I don't think they'll win it, but there's definitely a route to the semi-final in that section of the draw. I know a lot of people will be on Portugal. I'm not sure about them. They don't look. I think you can get at them. You can definitely score on them, Portugal. So
yeah, and you know what's crazy? The lines that came out today. I don't know if it's moved or not, but I'm going to be jumping on that sooner rather than later. So I already mentioned Morocco, and I'm hoping that the public just hammers Spain. But already, I have. So, obviously I would recommend to others to take Morocco simply to score at minus 108. I thought that was absolutely insane. That team has way more organization and more firepower. And I think they're a little bit underrated here. So yeah, already placed that one. One that I would say to place sooner rather than later, just getting ahead, but we're also trying to get you value, not just talk about the games tomorrow. Is that Brazil just get tons of corners, and their opening line was at 5.5. from -120, and it shot up quickly. So yeah, I already advised my patrons to bet that. I don't even know if you can get 5.5 anymore. That's how fast it was moving. So yeah, just a heads up for people that are corners bettors. Brazil is a team that's good for them, and getting the number at 5.5. I expect it to open at 6.5. So
yeah, it's interesting. The corners, I haven't gone as I expected in this tournament. The first round of games did hit the numbers I wanted. The second round was a little bit low, but okay. And the third round of fixtures, the corners just have not come. There was 2 games that only had 2 corners, and I'm trying to figure out why. I actually didn't watch them. I was watching the other one at the same time. But I have underestimated how football has grown with the lesser nations, or the mediocre nations, who are really far more tactically aware now than they ever used to be. Might be that it's because there's worldwide coaches are going on, but there's so many of them teams now. I talk about the big teams are kind of reverting more back to wing play at times, and they are. But these sort of mid to lower ranked nations just loving the inside play, and it has significantly reduced the corners for them. But I'm hoping from the knockout rounds onwards, we do get a lot of corners, and there'll be corners in extra time as well if you're playing that long-term market. Anyway, Ashley, it's been a pleasure as always. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about England, Senegal, and France against Poland. So get your research in for that. Get those games. Thanks everyone who's been watching. Appreciate your comments on Twitter and here on YouTube. But Ashley, that's it for this one.
Yep. See you guys tomorrow.